We are here with Joakim from Sabaton. Welcome on heavyworlds.com. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Last time we met was during the promo day in Milan with Par. You guys were so excited to be there and you asked us to tell you more about places to visit in Milan. So my question is spontaneous. What did you visit that day?
The big cathedral, of course, on the plaza. And we never got any further because we liked it so much there. So we just stayed there and we bought food and beer and wine, and we just stayed there the whole day. Nothing happened. We just never moved because it was so beautiful.
Okay. It seems you love Italy. As I heard, you wanted to get married in Tuscany. How was that?
It didn't turn out to be Tuscany. I wanted to, but the thing is, with our touring schedule, I didn't have any free time in the summer, and so I'm actually getting married now in 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
But it will be in Hawaii instead, because it's warm.
Let's talk about music now. It's been a while since Heroes came out. How was the response of the audience and press about it? Are you satisfied with these results?
Oh yes, very much so. We had a lot of good both press and reactions from the fans, so I'm really happy, and it's actually really good that we're also very proud of it ourselves, because it was a bit of a make it or break it album for us, because it was the first album with a new lineup and everything, and everything was just falling into its place basically when we recorded it. And now that we've been on tour, the new songs work really well live, especially Resist and Bite and To Hell and Back always brings down the house. So. And I think these are two songs that's going to stay in the set list for the future, I guess.
How is this European tour going so far? How is touring with Delane and Battle Beast? What do you think about them?
Oh, I like both bands. I am obviously not the most beautiful front person in this touring party, but I can live with that. I've met Delane the first time, I think 2011. So we always run into each other, and they're always nice and sweet people. Battle Beast I discovered more recently, but to be honest, their album Battle Beast, the second one they did, that's probably one of the best albums I have heard in many years. I mean, it gives me goosebumps.
I remember I saw a very cool photoshoot of you and Charlotte from Delane made by Team Tronco. It's really funny. How was this experience?
Oh, well, it was basically as easy. We were both on the festival Fortarok, I believe, in the Netherlands. And we were both playing, and Tim was there taking pictures as well. And I think actually me and Charlotte came up and said, "Oh, hey, are you here too?" And Tim came from the other side. "Oh, I got you too. Well, I want you in stage gear."
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure, let's do it, So we basically just got it done.
And did this happen also with Simone when you did the other photo shoot?
That was planned, I think, for a magazine cover, actually. We were releasing albums at the same time, I think. Yeah. So there was one magazine who wanted a combination photo shoot. So I was in Germany in the Nuclear Blast office and did that with her.
Okay. And this is the first time as you told, that the new lineup is playing together right now. After the release of Heroes, which was created by a total new lineup, you had some shows. And how is playing with this new lineup?
Well, if you ask me honestly, I cannot say that Sabaton has musically never been better. I mean, it always takes a little bit of time with, even if you have a new member, even if no matter how hard you rehearse, no matter how good everybody is individually, to play together several hundred times, that's what makes you a unit as a band, And damn, if I might say so myself, right now we are really good.
You're going to tour again with Delane as support act to Nightwish, right? What do you expect from this tour?
Lots of fun. I mean, that'll be. I will know everybody on the tour already before starting it. You know, we toured with Nightwish before, and we toured with Delane before. So at that point, I think it will be very easy because I know for a fact that there are no assholes among Delane or Nightwish, and I also know we don't bring any assholes. So we'll have a really nice tour, I think.
And how did you live the fact you passed from supporting act to headliner bands, also in tour and to the biggest festival? Did it influence your private lives as you are your private life as you are always on tour all the year?
Oh, yeah, it does. Of course. I mean, I don't mind the fact. I mean, sometimes we're supporting, sometimes we're headlining. That's a natural thing. But as you said, since we're always touring all the time, it has an effect on the private life. I would say it's almost non-existent. But I think it's a matter of how you do it. I mean, if I am at home, I try to be at home also mentally, you know what I mean? If I'm with my girlfriend or if I'm with my mom and dad, I know I've made this mistake in the past before, that mentally I was somewhere else, you know. There might be something going on with the band I needed to think about, to take care about, but that's not the solution. I mean, then it's better I do all the stuff I need to do on tour and work harder on tour, so when I actually get home, I make sure I'm home both physically and mentally.
Talking about the fact you are always touring, do you take some free time during the tour to work on the next album? As you already go into recording session after a tour, where do you find the time, and don't you have any time to take some rest?
Rest? Well, I have. I rest quickly. You know what I mean? No, but I mean the writing process. Well, the writing process stops, but the creation process doesn't. As soon as I come up with an idea, it might be on a sound check or something. I record it, but I don't, you know, put it in a computer. But I get the ideas. You know, maybe I sing a melody myself, or play on a guitar. And for me, the ideas, that's the creative spark. Those are the hard ones. Then to actually map it out. If you have the idea, only maybe me and an acoustic guitar, and I have the verse and I have the chorus and something in between. I mean, I've done writing 7 Sabaton albums now. I don't need, you know, I don't need so much equipment to know how it's gonna sound like. So when I actually go and have a break, you know, and we're starting on the next album, for me, my pre-production time at that point is going to be really fast if I know what's going to do. It's a stranger song, in the case like we had some little bit different ones, The Final Solution, Cliffs of Gallipoli in these. They are not the typical Sabaton format. That might take very, very, very much longer. And also the songs, if I end up with 8 songs instead of 10, to start to write 2 new ones, and I don't have the idea. I can spend 3 days in the studio just thinking, not good enough, next, not good enough, not good enough, you know, and then, but it's good because I like to be for certain types of songs, it's good to be under pressure. Certain other types of songs needs all the free time. So it's usually at the end of a recording session, when we're just about to actually start recording the album, and I usually come up with 1 or 2 songs, because then I can see what the album is missing. I know, okay, I take this away, these ones make the album, and then I realize that, damn, there's a lot of fast songs on this album, maybe we should have a slower one. Then I already have an idea of what we're looking for. Then it's much easier to do that slow song. Or if the album is very hard, maybe we need a softer song. If the album is soft, we need a harder song. At that point, it's kind of easier to write when you're at the end of a process rather than in the beginning, because you have a blank sheet. Yes. And all I know, okay, it's going to be within the realm of hard rock, heavy metal, and it's going to be about military history. Yeah, that's a big blank paper.
You reached success very quickly in the last years. What advice would you suggest to a band that nowadays try to debut?
don't do it. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I would say think of the facts that unfortunately the music business is also a business. I see some bands focusing only on the business. I see some bands only focusing on being perfect musicians. And you can't treat music as only business. You cannot only think about the music. You have to think of both in the same way that, of course, music should come first. But unfortunately, I've seen younger bands who were very talented, who didn't take the business side into consideration. And the fact is, if you're playing in front of several thousand people, somebody's going to make money. And in that case, I think it's better that the artist does it than a manager or something like that. Because I've seen a lot of bands who ended up with very bad management deals or record label deals. I'm not saying that all managers or all record labels are evil. They're not. Some of them are very, very good, actually. But unfortunately, when you're a young band, you really want that record label or you want a management. But the ones who are willing to take on small bands are usually not the best ones. Sometimes they are, because they do it with their heart. But I would say the best advice is have patience. Music, it's not a race. It's a time-winning thing. You know, time is your friend. And if you make sure that you play the music you love, and you don't care about the fact that you played for 5 years and you didn't make it, if you're still happy, then you're doing the right thing. Because it takes more than 5 years to build a career as a professional musician. Hell, we started in '99, and when we were in 2008, so that's 9 years later, that's when we could actually start paying our bills with music. That's how long it took.
Are you planning to write songs about Italy in the future in your next work?
Yes, we have actually. We're looking at a very big picture now because, as you said, we haven't really decided the theme for the next album yet. We have some ideas. So right now we are looking at everything we can have actually. So if anyone watching this has any ideas, mail us. We actually read them all. All the mail goes to us because we don't have any management at all. So we actually read what people write to us and answer in 99.9% of the times. So any kind of tips that people would have helps. I mean, so many ideas for songs, both on Coat of Arms and on Heroes. Not so much Carolus Rex, of course, because that was a different thing, but especially Coat of Arms of Heroes. I'd say probably 40-50% of the albums were ideas that came from fans. Somebody gave us a book on tour. Somebody sent us an email with a link to a documentary. So, I mean, history is a huge subject. We enjoy it, but I mean, even if we stopped doing music and only studied history, we still only know this much of it,
Okay. And how did you improve your voice in these years? If you were asked to tell 3 singers that inspire you, who would they be and why?
Oh, Dee Snider. Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, he would be one of them. He just has a great voice, and also from meeting him and reading the book, always nice, polite to the fans. He was never about the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He was only about the rock and roll. And then Ronnie James Dio, for sure. Not only for his solo career, but also look at Rainbow, Black Sabbath. All of these bands are among my favorites, actually. And I think the last time I saw them live was 2007, maybe? 7 or 8. I saw Heaven and Hell. And even though he lost a little bit in his voice in the last couple of years, but I remember seeing him in maybe 2004 and 5. And at that age, he was still as good as when he was young, So, for sure, Ronnie James Dio. And then... Maybe Udo Dirkschneider actually from Accept, because in a way he showed you don't have to be a magically talented singer. There is he's a good singer, but I mean, you can also. It's equally important to have your own signature sound when singing. You don't have to sound like everybody else. You can still sound like crazy fucking, and make it fit in the music, which, helps for me.
Okay. And what about improving your voice? How did you do that?
I don't know. I've just been screaming and screaming into a microphone, and I guess if you do something long enough for many enough times, you get better at it. I mean, especially for me, listening to the recordings from '99 we did, that's painful. I'm thinking, oh shit, oh no, that's not me. No, please don't play this, So I think it took me 5 years until I can actually think that, hey, this is not so bad. So maybe the Primo Victoria album, that's the first time that I can, the first album I can listen to today that is not making me feel ashamed. Of course I hear the mistakes, but on the other hand, since I was so bad in the beginning, I've had the luxury of becoming, of course, in the beginning, much better between every album. But now I can still hear a little gradual increase that I'm a little bit better on Carolus Rex than Coat of Arms, and a little bit, but tiny bit better on Heroes than on Carolus Rex, vocal-wise. And it's a grateful experience in that way, because it's easier since I was never really good. So becoming a little bit better doesn't need so much,
When did you realize the band was taking its place in the world of music?
I don't know. I'm still not sure we have, but I think we never had any plans like that. Our focus was always to do the best albums, write the best songs we could, make the best music, and then go on stage and every night be better than we were last night. And I think it hit me in 2008 or 2009 when we were playing in Athens that I was there. It wasn't that many people, a couple of hundred, but still, great fans in Athens. People are singing along. We're having a show. And in the middle of it, I just zoom out. And then I realize that I haven't had another job in a couple of years now. And I'm here in Greece, instead of in cold Sweden. And we're had 2 great shows in a row. And then we're flying off to somewhere else and playing the next show. Damn, I'm a musician. And I make a living out of this. So it was never in the plans, it just happened. But at that point, I still remember exactly the moment when that realization came to me, because everything basically froze. And then that realization, and then the tape started again.
Do you have time for questions? Yes. Which is the gig you enjoyed the most, and which is the country you can't wait to go every time?
Oh. Gig I enjoyed most. That's tricky. I mean, that's like saying which ice cream is the best. It's ice cream. It's always going to be good, It is actually easier to pick the really bad ones because we have fewer of them, if you know what I mean. But a place I always love returning to. Oh, that's also strange. There are so many places that have their own. Yeah, it's great to come to South America because of the craziness of the fans. On the other hand, you're probably not going to have the best PA or sound system, and stuff like that. So then, on the other hand, if you're playing in, let's say Sweden, you're going to have a good sound system and a big stage. But then people are going to be a bit more boring, actually. So. It's a tough question, but I'm really looking forward to tonight's show, because Italy has always been a place where we never had the biggest crowds, but always very, very good and loyal people, loud. I remember last time, and 2 times ago, I think that was 2010. I still remember the face of the guy, but not the name. I didn't know much Italian. I still don't. But, I told them, okay, well, I'm sorry, I don't know much Italian, but maybe you could teach me some. And he goes, Porco Dio! And I, without thinking, Porco Dio! And then I thought about it, wait, Dio is God, right? Did I just say fuck God? Or, compare God to a pig or something? Oh, well, damn.
That's all for now. Thank you for your time. Is there anything you would like to say to your fans or heavyworlds readers?
Oh, grazie mille. All the good times. I mean, every time we've been here, as I said, not the biggest crowds, but always loud.